Red Bull believed their future was secure. The grand partnership with Ford had been unveiled with fireworks, celebrated as the start of a new era, one built on innovation, independence, and American engineering power. Everything looked set for a smooth road into 2026. But behind the closed doors of Milton Keens, a twist has emerged. Ford has quietly changed direction, and what once looked like a perfect plan now hangs under a cloud of uncertainty. Why has Ford shifted gears at such a crucial moment? And could this sudden change derail Red Bull's dominance just as Formula One heads into its biggest reset in decades? Inside both camps, whispers suggest Ford's internal shakeups, whether budgets being reshuffled, changes in leadership, or a new technological direction, have slowed the project down. The once straight path to 2026 is now full of cracks, and that uncertainty is casting a long shadow over Red Bull powertrains in Milton Keens. While rivals like Mercedes, Ferrari, and Audi power ahead with their own developments, Red Bull risks being left behind at the most critical technical reset Formula One has seen in decades. Could Ford's sudden change of heart throw Red Bull's grand plan into chaos? Ford's return to Formula One is still set for 2026, 3 years after announcing its tie-up with Red Bull. What began as a side role, supporting only the electrical side of the new hybrid engines, has grown into something far bigger. Ford isn't just lending a hand anymore. According to Ford Motorsport director Mark Rushbrook, the company has dived deeper into the design and production of the power unit itself. When we first signed on, we weren't really looking at the combustion engine, Rushbrook admitted, but now we're helping with that too. We're working on almost the whole car, and even the operational side for Ford. The partnership was always meant to be a learning experience. As the car industry shifts to electrification, they wanted hands-on knowledge in battery chemistry, electric motors, inverters, calibration, and how all of it ties together with a combustion engine. Rushbrook put it simply, we wanted to understand how to make everything more efficient. Ford's Formula One comeback has turned into far more than just a partnership on paper. What was once pitched as a small, focused role has grown into full-scale involvement, with the American giant now helping shape almost every corner of Red Bull's ambitious 2026 project. It's a striking reminder of how the pull of Formula One's technical challenges can draw even the biggest manufacturers deeper than they ever planned. For Ford, this is no ordinary return. It is shaping up to be one of the most fascinating comebacks in modern F1. Speaking about the decision, Ford's global motorsport chief laid out exactly why now was the right moment. There were many reasons why we wanted to return to Formula One. The new regulations, the sport's commitment to carbon neutrality, the new fuels, the popularity of the sport, he explained, making it clear that F1's new direction lined up perfectly with Ford's own strategy for the future. Timing was everything. Just as Red Bull took the bold step of creating its own power unit department in Milton Keens, Ford was searching for the right opportunity to re-enter the sport. Red Bull had the ambition, but even for a world championship winning team, building an engine from scratch was a colossal task. The infrastructure, the expertise, the resources, it was a mountain to climb. Ford saw the gap and stepped straight into it. Luckily, our timing with Red Bull was perfect, the American boss admitted. They had just decided to develop their own powertrain for 2026. Even at that early stage, it was clear that resources were stretched thin, and Milton Keens had never produced an F1 engine before. Yet Ford's high-profile return arrives during one of the rockiest chapters in Red Bull's recent history. The shock sacking of long-serving team principal Christian Horner earlier in the summer has left the team in transition. Without his guiding hand, questions hang over Red Bull's ability to keep its winning streak alive as the sport prepares for its biggest technical overhaul in decades. Amid the uncertainty, one anchor remains. After months of wild speculation about a blockbuster switch to Mercedes, Max Verstappen has ended the rumours. The four-time world champion has pledged his future to Red Bull, confirming he will stay through 2026. For a team caught between change and continuity, Verstappen's loyalty may prove their greatest strength, ensuring that as Ford steps deeper into the unknown, Red Bull at least keeps its most valuable weapon firmly in place. Uncertainty still hangs over the second Red Bull seat. Yuki Tsunoda's promotion was meant to be a breakthrough, but his struggles have cast serious doubt on whether he can hold on to the drive. With Ford eyeing the global spotlight that comes with their F1 return, Verstappen's teammate won't just be a driver choice. It could be a key piece in Red Bull's long-term marketing and performance strategy. Yet Ford's growing presence at Red Bull is only one chapter in the wider storm swirling around the 2026 engine rules. The FIA promised stability, but what teams have instead received is a shifting puzzle of regulations regulations that still feel half-formed. The concept is clear: hybrid technology balanced with sustainable fuels, a greener and more future-proof Formula One. But the reality has been far messier. The limits on hybrid energy deployment, the challenges of mixing combustion with electrification, and the high costs of sustainable fuels are all moving targets. Even giants like Mercedes and Ferrari have admitted they aren't sure the FIA has fully locked the framework in place. That uncertainty has set up a brewing war among manufacturers. Audi has already gone all in with a full works entry, determined to carve out a German rivalry with Mercedes. Porsche continues to circle, still teasing its long-rumoured return. And Honda has planted its flag at Aston Martin, betting big that Lawrence Stroll's project can rise into title contention. Beyond the technical shakeups, there's also the human factor. Formula One is not just about building the fastest engine, it's about aligning hundreds of people under a single vision. Red Bull's engineers are working against the clock, but uncertainty over Ford's long-term priorities has started to weigh heavily in the background. Whispered doubts about resources, corporate politics, and shifting strategies risk unsettling the very workforce tasked with delivering this critical project. A single missed deadline, a delayed part, or a mismatch in expectations could snowball into a crisis by the time the 2026 season dawns. For Ford, the stakes extend far beyond the racetrack. A failed return would not only dent its credibility in Formula One, but also cast shadows over its standing in the global car industry, where competition is already fierce in the push for electrification. Success could position Ford as a leader of the sport's green revolution. Failure could turn this comeback into a cautionary tale of overreach. That high-wire balance makes every decision in the next 18 months feel decisive, and it's why Red Bull's faith in this partnership will be tested like never before. In this fractured landscape, Ferrari and Mercedes are fighting not just to stay on top, but to ensure the new rules don't hand a golden ticket to their rivals. Into this arena step Red Bull and Ford. What began as a smart branding play has become a high-risk gamble. If the regulations deliver as intended, Ford's steep learning curve could turn them into a major power in the hybrid future. But if the FIA's indecision drags on, Red Bull and Ford risk entering 2026 already chasing their rivals' shadows. And this is bigger than just Formula One. For Ford, the lessons learned on track, battery chemistry, sustainable fuels, hybrid integration, feed directly back into the road cars that are fighting for space in the fiercely competitive EV market. Formula One gives Ford the stage to prove itself both in racing and in technology. That dual purpose, racing glory and road relevance, is why this deal matters so much at the highest corporate levels. So, the question remains, will Ford's deeper involvement turn Red Bull into an unstoppable force in 2026? Or will the uncertainty around the new rules tip the balance toward rivals like Mercedes, Ferrari, Audi, or even Aston Martin with Honda? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.